Let's say I'm working on an essay related to topic 3, which is about the representation of African Americans in 2 films, which include Black Panther, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Black Klansman, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Get Out, Safety, Sylvie's Love, or The Hate U Give. And the prompt specifically asks, to what extent do the characters in the films you've selected display traits of overt or inferential racism? Since I'll need to find examples of how characters might represent stereotypes, it would be helpful for me to know something about how African Americans have been represented in films in the past. This might help me to make a more informed analysis of the films that I choose for this essay. A reference entry or book is more likely to discuss this topic of racial stereotypes in films more generally than a scholarly journal article would. And as an example of a reference that would be really useful for this essay, this article, Jim Crow Stereotypes in Film from the African American Experience Database, would be perfect. Even though this reference entry doesn't mention any of the films in Professor Freese's essay prompt, what it's going to help me do is give context to perhaps the examples that I select from films that I'm interested in. So just know that a source doesn't have to actually talk about your films in order for it to be useful. You yourself are going to be pulling out the examples. You don't need another source to tell you what the examples of overt or inferential racism are. But this article can help you to perhaps explain why you think something is an example of overt racism.